The person we just watched doesn't even have Tourette's syndrome. The TikTok we just watched was made by user Tiks and Roses. She's been outed for faking her Tourette's. There's millions of Reddit posts out there talking about this. And I also believe that her sister outed her as well and told everyone that she doesn't have Tourette's. But this is just one case of somebody faking mental illnesses on TikTok. There are literally so many people out there posting videos on TikTok where they are faking mental illnesses. Like, they're sitting there pretending like they have these illnesses that nobody should want. They're like not fun to have at all. I don't know why you would even want to pretend to have these illnesses, but regardless, people think that it's a quirky, fun little thing to pretend to have, and they're posting TikToks where they pretend that they have them. It's gotten so bad to the point where it's basically just a trend now. So in today's video, we're going to be looking at some of these TikTokers who are faking mental illnesses, starting off with the rest of the video from Tiks and Roses.
I'll get her a new one. Wow! 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 Eat the burrito. Nope. No. One for you. Woo! Woo! Pew, 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 pew.
Now, I don't know if you guys really do know what Tourette's is. I feel like it is pretty well known at this point, but it's this thing where you basically have these tics. It's kind of like if you have to cough really bad and you have like that urge to cough. It's the same thing, but they have the urge to do like different things or movements or make sounds. And it's honestly a pretty embarrassing thing to have, especially if you're in public and you're screaming out bad words or like making these like big movements in front of everybody. Like, I'd say that most people who have Tourette's wouldn't really want to have it. It's not something that they enjoy having, I would guess. Now, I mean, I don't have it, so I really can't speak on this too well, but it's just like a known thing that having Tourette's is an extremely inconvenient thing. That being said, Tiks and Roses faking having this and like doing her tics that she completely made up, by the way. Like all these little things where she's like looking into the bag and like saying who's there, or like throwing a thing and saying it's a burrito, and whatever it could possibly be. All those things are quote unquote tics that she made up. And she always shows a reaction to her tics too, like often laughs at them and stuff like that. And usually somebody with Tourette's is gonna just have their tic happen and then move on like it didn't happen. So like her reacting to it like that is definitely a big sign that it's not real. There's a ton of other things that go into it, so that alone doesn't mean that it's not real, but that is one of the big things, and it happens a lot for her too. So yeah, just absolutely disgusting. Like, I cannot believe that there's somebody out there who would sit there and pretend to have something as terrible as Tourette's. It's obvious that this is for one thing and one thing only, and that one thing would be attention. All this person cares about is getting some attention on TikTok. They only care about likes, followers, people caring about them, and it's truly just sad to see. And to make it even worse, there are people with TikTok who truly do have Tourette's. And once people find out that there's somebody out there faking Tourette's, I'm sure that they're just gonna assume that every single person who's on TikTok with Tourette's is just faking it for attention. So it causes this whole like dilemma. It really honestly just sucks. I truly cannot believe that there's somebody out there like this that exists and, you know, lives on the same planet as me. Like, there are actually people out there that crave attention so much that they need to go and fake a mental illness just to get a little bit more attention. Like, for real, this is what's going on. I just hate it so much. I really do. What even is this? Like, I'm sorry? Are they trying to say that they shake so much whenever the laser comes by them in a TikTok filter, and that alone makes it so then they have all of these illnesses that they're listing? I mean, this is even the same person. In the beginning of the video, we see that they're able to hold their hand pretty steady, pretty damn easily, and then they do a second take and they're shaking all over the place. Well, I hate to tell you, but you shaking your hand during a TikTok filter does not mean you have depression, tics, anxiety, ADHD, or cancer. Maybe you go to a doctor or a specialist to figure out if you have any of these, rather than just following some stupid thing that you read on TikTok where it uses a filter to find out if you have mental illnesses. Proof: I have depression and tics. The fact that anybody would even need to try to prove that they have either of these is just sad. You know, that means that there's people out there who fake having it for attention, and there definitely are people out there who fake having it, including this person. I'm sorry, but just having your hand on camera and you shaking it around every couple seconds doesn't mean that you have depression and tics. I'm pretty sure anybody out there is capable of filming their hand and twitching it every couple seconds. Just because you're able to twitch your hand like that does not mean that you have tics. Everybody's capable of twitching. Nobody who has any of these illnesses is going to be coming up in front of everybody and trying to flex it on people. And also, what is this person talking about? Are they saying that one of their quote-unquote alters makes it so then they are paralyzed? So they are pretending that they have multiple personality disorder, and part of that pretend is that one of their alters is paralyzed and needs a wheelchair, so she also goes around on a wheelchair. I'm gonna guess that she does that so then everybody looks at her and feels bad for her whenever she's going around in a wheelchair. But truly, that is probably one of the grossest things I've seen out of any of these fake disorder TikToks yet. Like, being in a wheelchair is probably one of the suckiest things ever. I feel terrible for people who have to sit in wheelchairs. I actually had to deal with it for like a couple weeks whenever I broke my leg. All I wanted to do at that point was walk. I hated being in a wheelchair. But you know, people live with it. They learn to adapt. But this person is willingly choosing to sit in a wheelchair just for attention. It's just so disrespectful to people who actually need wheelchairs and to people who actually have illnesses. Like, sorry that you want attention, maybe find some other way to get it. Maybe try being a good human. That's a good way to get attention. But no, instead they have to sit here, fake a bunch of disorders, fake being in a wheelchair, all this stupid stuff. It's ridiculous. It truly is. Yeah, guys, you heard it here first. If you could blink on beat, it means that you have ADHD. Forget going to a specialist, forget going to a doctor. They don't know what they're talking about. If you can blink to music, you have a mental illness. I think everybody's capable of blinking to music. Like, are you serious right now? Is this how we're figuring out if we have ADHD or not? By blinking? Sure. Makes a ton of sense. I love how this person was just conveniently filming her changing alters. The chance that that happens is so little, so little. But no, this person, it's just completely convenient for them, changing alters right in front of the camera for everyone to see on TikTok. I just hate the fact that people are faking this. I mean, obviously I should hate the fact, but I truly do. It makes me really mad. This is not something fun or quirky or something to try to pretend to have at all. People who suffer from these conditions suffer in a bunch of different ways, and you get to live your normal life not having to suffer any of that, but then you sit there and pretend to do it just for the attention. And you know what's crazy? I see a lot of teens pretending to have this specific disorder, and then I watched this video and it explains how teens really can't have this specific disorder the way that they're showing that they have it, because for the most part it doesn't develop until you're much older. I'll just let this person explain it for you, but as you guys will see, probably most of the teens that you see pretending to have multiple personality disorder are faking it.
Alright, so I'm on Quora right now, and the question is, what is the youngest age that a person can be diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder? And a licensed professional clinical counselor replied, it can be diagnosed in childhood, but it is rarely diagnosed until someone is in their 30s or 40s. DID presents a little differently in children and teens. The alters or parts are more diffuse and less separate. So basically, what that means is that they are not distinct personalities at that point. So any teenager claiming that they have distinct personalities within their DID is lying. And she does detail what would be a sign of DID in a child or younger person, but none of these younger people claiming to have DID. I've watched many of their videos. None of them have ever said this has ever happened to them. Ever. None of them. So, no, if you're a teenager saying you have full DID, you're a liar.
Yeah, and there are a lot of people out there who are younger and they pretend to have this disorder, and now it's very obvious that it's completely fake. I hope to see all these people off of TikTok sometime in the near future. It's truly disgusting what they're doing, and they do not deserve a platform to try to promote themselves and get the attention that they want, but they do not deserve. If you guys ended up enjoying or learning something new, do not forget to leave a like on the video and also subscribe. I post videos just like this every other day, and I'd really appreciate it if you could just quickly draw me a sub.
The video that lives in your head rent-free.
She's the beautiful cheerleader whose heartbreaking story is shocking the nation. 25-year-old Desiree Jennings showed me how she can't walk without twisting, jerky movements. But she walks backwards normally. Doctors say she has a rare 1 in a million neurological disorder that was triggered 10 days after she got a seasonal flu shot. They worried they'd never find a cure. But look at Desiree now. We found her walking normally, playing with her dogs, going shopping, even getting behind the wheel of a car and driving. Hard to believe the woman we've been discreetly observing over the last few weeks is the same woman we met during the height of the flu shot scare. I need to point out one other thing. When we first saw Desiree in this shopping center parking lot, she seemed to be walking normally. But as she left to get into her car, she was walking sideways.
If you guys do want to see some more of my content, I'm so sure that you will absolutely love it. Just click one of those thingies up on the screen. And yeah, bye.